Hello everybody and welcome back. So I'm going to show you what we are aiming to do, and we are aiming to do this kind of stuff, and we're going to control these Bezier curves with these things here. So that's going to be nice. So and yeah, let's go back. And we are here and we just made one Bezier curve here and it works really good. So if we move these around, they are working. So let's continue with the other stuff. And I'm gonna make a material, actually a shader, because we need it. And it's gonna be moving, okay. Move along spline. I didn't really spell it correct. Spline, perfect. So we're gonna use this in shader graph, and well, I mean VFX Graph setup. So we need to support VFX Graph here. And then I'm going to add a color because we're going to control that one. So we're going to have it here. And this color is going to be HDR. So make sure you put this one in here because we're going to make it glow a little bit. And save. So let's go back here and I'm going to turn off my global volume so I don't forget to add it later or explain it if you don't know how it works. And so if we go into the setup, we have it here. So first off, just make sure that we have it moving. And it's always in this random position along the spline now, but we want it to be kind of moving along. So we're going to make another property here, and it's going to be a float. And we're going to, well, not a flip book. So we're going to call this one, first off, float here. Why do I miss it? Float, where do here we have it? So this is going to be the travel speed. We're going to have it here. And what we're going to do with it, we're going to add this one here. And we're going to do the time. So we're going to have the VFX time like this. So if we do a multiply here, so we're going to take the, let's see, total time here. So here, now we can kind of control. We do travel speed and we can have it in range between 0 and 5. So if we do 0, it will just stay where it is. And when we do this, it's going to travel forward. Eventually, it's going to bypass 1. So we need to modulo that one. What that means is when this value turns to 1.1 and we do modulo, it's going to be 0.1. So it's going to kind of repeat and go all over again. So this is really good. And if we just, yeah, let's see how that turns out before we do anything more. So now we see they're moving. So we're going to move, and we actually, I can have the scene down here, and then we can a little bit bigger. So we're going to change this one here. I don't want this particle. I'm going to change that one to have mesh lit. And here we're going to change the cube. I would like to have a sphere instead. And then it asked for a shader graph, and we made a material. So, well, actually shader. So if we have the shader here, we just open it up and pick this one here. And that one, if we plug it in here, now we can control the color and stuff. So that's perfect. So now we have spheres instead here. So that's nice. So that's cool. And now we're going to add control the color. So if we do color here, and then we make another one here, and then we just use lerp. So now we're going to make sure that when it is in the beginning and in the end, it's black. And when it's in the middle, it's going to be 1. And when it's 1, we're going to have this red color. Now you see it's red all over because, well, actually, here it is 0 and 1. But we're going to control this. And the way we do this, if we pick this part here that we made, and if we just copy it, and we use it down here, and we plug it in here, now we're going to have like a fade here. So it's going to be like black here and red here. And if we want the black and red in the middle, we just do a sample curve. So now we plug this one in here and sample. So whenever it's 0 and 1, we're going to have 0 here, 1 here, and then go back 0. So I'm going to have this one here. This is a nice curve. And then instead we do like this. So now we have control of the color, and that's great. And then we're just going to have this one. I'm going to make a copy of it, and we're going to make one more, but here we're going to set the size. And then we just plug it in here, and now we can control the size. Perfect. Now I'm going to open this one up here, and if I take these two here, and if I hold shift and move up, I can move them just controlled up, and this one down a bit. So here we can control how we want them. I think this is going to be fine. And then travel speed, we can lower it a little bit. So this is going to be fine, something like this. Cool. Now I'm going to change this to a little bit like yellowish and do the intensity like 5-ish. So now it's really yellow here, and I want it to be kind of have intensity and glow. So then if you don't have global volume, just add a global volume. Then you add this bloom here. And as you can see, it doesn't really show anything here. And what I noticed is it doesn't do any effect with the bloom unless you have a camera in the scene. So let's add a camera. And now you see in the scene view port, it's going to do the glow. Perfect. So now it looks like this. So now we're going to, well, here I want the black to be a little bit longer in. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take this curve. I'm going to do this, drag it in a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And this one too. So now they are a little bit darker at the ends. So that's nice. The last part I'm going to do is to add a little bit noise. So here we have the part that do the color and the size here. So this is the color and this is the size part. And this is the part that we did, we used up here. So the last part that we're going to do is to make the noise, and we're going to have it here, in between here. So if we do an add, we want to add the noise way over here. Now we're kind of adding 0. And we're going to have this VFX time and then multiply. We're going to use it again. So I'm going to put it here. So we're going to add some more stuff here. So I'm actually going to take this travel speed and do 3 copies of it. And this is going to be the noise amp, as in amplitude, noise scale, and this is going to be the noise speed. So we're going to, let's see how we should do this here. Well, first we can just, if I just take all this part and copy it down here, because whatever happens here, it's going to be the same stuff going on here. And if I do a multiply, in here. And then we just add a noise to make it obvious what we're doing. So we take the noise in here and we take the derivatives out here. Actually, I'm just going to plug it like this, so it's super obvious what's going on. So now you can see that now we have a lot of noise going on here. And because this one is controlling the values between 0 and 1, so now we can just have it in this one here. And now, well, the trial, let's see, why isn't it working? Yeah, so what's happening is that it's starting from 0, then it goes to 1, and it's even 1 here. So we need to have it 0, 1, 0. And this stuff works still, so that's cool. So we need to do this curve thing. So we're just going to copy this curve, and we're going to add it here. So this one, make sure it's always between 0 and 1. So now if we do this sample curve here, now you see it goes from 0 to 1. I'm just going to reset the curve so it works. So now we can do this noise scale or amplitude. Amplitude is better, so we're going to have it in here. Now we can decide how much noise do we want. Here we can do a lot or not much at all. And then here you see the frequency. We can control how much noise we're going to have. So that's going to be the noise scale. So we're just plugging in noise scale, and now we can control the scale. Perfect. So what you can see now, that the noise is very predictable. We can tell how the noise is going to be. And I'm going to lower the global. I'm actually going to lower this one just a little bit. So what you can see here, that they are following the same noise pattern, and we're going to break it up. So the way we can break the noise pattern is to, the position goes into the noise. So that way we always get this predictable. The noise will always be this way when it is in this position. So if we just add some different differentiations to the noise. So we put it here, we have the VFX time, and we're going to do that with the noise speed. So here now we can control the noise speed with the time. So whenever, if we add this here, now you see it getting a little bit more different noise. But you can still see that they all follow the same kind of noise. So what we can do to break it up even more is to, in this add position, we can do a random. So let's do a random float. So we do, for each particle, we add a random value. And we can do, crank it up to like 1000. So now you see it's much more unpredictable. So that's cool. So I'm going to save it here, and now this is actually the setup that I made. So if we just want to check it out, let's see, I can do full screen and just show the parts. So this one is doing the 0 to 1 solution. So here we kind of, whoops, here we are sampling the Bezier curve. So that's nice. And then here we do some, add some extra noise to the noise. And when the noise come out here, we do add with the noise amplitude, how strong it should be. And we also multiply with this curve you see here. So it's always going to be noise in the middle and no noise at the end. And then we only have, we have so little, we can actually have more particles capacity. So that's nice. Then we do, so now let's do 100 instead. So then down here, we just do the size and color, and this is how that part looks like. And when you have this set up, what you can do, and let's minimize that one and do the scene. So now we can just copy this VFX setup. Now we have two. And if we take this CD, these two position here, and if we copy this one here, now we have VFX, the first one and the second one. And in the second one, if we just change the D position to the new D, and then C to the new C we made here, now we have two particle systems that are actually using the same controllers. So now we can kind of control these separately. And now you can just add more if you want, of course. So yeah, this is how it works. So pretty quick and dirty, not dirty, but pretty quick, and I didn't really iterate on the effect. It can be so much more cooler, but I think you got the idea how it works. And if you want to dive into this file, you can find it on my Patreon site, where you have the exactly same files I've been working in. So thank you so much for watching, and good luck with your VFX.